It's a curious thing. You can have two paths, the exact same desk, the same hours to work with, and yet one path is all friction, a constant effort against some unseen resistance. The other, it's just a quiet rhythm. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? The real nature of the work seems to be decided long before the first page is ever turned.
So often, we think the beginning is about doing something, an action. But maybe it isn't. Maybe it's a pause, a deliberate gathering of a mind that's been scattered across a dozen different concerns. It's that moment where you simply arrive, right where you already are, quieting all that internal noise before you even think about engaging with the world outside. The work, it seems, doesn't begin with motion. It begins with intention.
And then there's this single, clarifying act. It's like distilling a whole universe of possibilities down into one clear sentence. It's not really a plan, It's more like a filter. It transforms that vague, heavy pressure to study into a focused ritual. It gives the next measure of time a distinct shape, a purpose, and everything else just falls away.
From that clarity, a totally different quality of attention begins to emerge. It's not something you have to force or wrestle into submission. It feels invited. It just seems to flow naturally from the intention that was set right at the beginning. All that energy that was once spent just fighting off distractions, well, now it's simply available for the task itself.
The mind is such a peculiar instrument, isn't it? It can hold on to the image of a face you saw once in passing with perfect clarity, the exact layout of a childhood home, the feeling of a particular afternoon. And yet, the abstract language of formulas and theories, that can drift right through your awareness like sand through an open hand.
So what has to happen is a translation, a process of taking what feels foreign and abstract and remaking it in the mind's own native tongue, the language of images, of stories, of metaphor. This isn't just some memory trick. It's a deeper form of understanding. It's the act of actually making that knowledge one's own. And it's just a profound difference between passively reviewing something and actively recreating it. To read a sentence, that's one thing, but to rebuild it, to reshape it, to explain it in a new form, well, that's how you truly possess it. Knowledge, it turns out, isn't something you consume. It's something you construct, piece by piece, within the architecture of the self.
And yet, through this whole process, the ego is always watching. And it's not really concerned with learning, it's concerned with the appearance of having learned. This deep, quiet need to already be knowledgeable, to project this image of mastery.
There's that old saying, isn't there? You can't pour tea into a cup that's already full. And a mind that is full of the need to be right, full of the need to be seen as intelligent, well, it just has no room for what's new. It has no room for what is true.
Real change, it seems, begins in this quiet turning away. The moment the focus shifts from protecting what you think you know to humbly embracing the vastness of what you do not. That, right there, is the emptying of the cup.
We imagine discipline is some kind of purely internal fire, a constant battle of personal will. But so often, it's merely a reflection of the space we choose to inhabit. A sacred space, cleared of the usual distractions, seems to invite a different state of being into existence.
In a place like that, focus is not a struggle against the current, it is the current. The shared stillness cultivates a rhythm, a collective atmosphere, where deep work becomes the default state. It becomes the path of least resistance.
And within that space, there is ritual, the simple, repeated act, night after night. You see, it's not the intensity of any single moment that forges a new reality. It's the consistency of the return, the quiet closing of the book, the steady, unbroken chain of just showing up.
We're told that mastery is a destination, a secret prize at the end of a difficult journey, a place you finally arrive after years of struggle. But perhaps that's a misunderstanding.
Perhaps mastery isn't a destination at all. Perhaps it's simply the texture of the path itself, revealed not in the outcome, but in the quality of attention brought to each quiet, intentional step along the way.